Looks like the old hag is going to be living a gloomy life for the rest of time. You're going to regret things for the rest of your life after what you did today. Calling me an old hag? I would like to ask you what you think you're doing talking to one of your higher-ups like that? As far as I'm aware, there is nothing at all that I need to be regretting, and am not convinced that my life will be forever gloomy like you think. Just because I'm telling you the reality of your situation now, don't think you can clap back at me for it. Do you have any idea who I am? I am the executive director's daughter, of all people. And as for you, it doesn't seem like I'll ever have to see you again because you're done for. What do you mean by that? By the end of today, you will no longer be a part of this company anymore. Just because I came into work a little bit drunk today, you think you can caution me about it? That's what we call workplace harassment. Workplace harassment. You could be fined for something like that by the company, and I could take you to court and sue you for every penny you have if I really wanted to. I've already gone and told my dad about this, and I'm going to have you fired now. Sucks to suck, doesn't it? An old hag like you will have no chance at all of finding yourself a new job once you've been kicked out of this place, so consider this the end for you. You call the state that you came into work today a little drunk? You came into the office smelling like the floor of a dive bar, and then you couldn't even walk straight for more than a millisecond. I also saw you rush to the bathroom when you first came out of that elevator and could hear you in there vomiting your guts out. Whichever way you try and think about it, you shouldn't be coming into work like that. And this wasn't even the first time you've behaved that way. As one of your higher-ups, I did the right thing by going and warning you about the punishment for continuing to do that. It is against this company's policy, and I'm pretty sure any company's policy, to be coming into work in such an inebriated state. It couldn't be helped, all right? I was out really late last night messing around at the club, and after that I went out to some bars to grab a few drinks until the sun came up. And that all happened before I realized that it was only Wednesday and I had to be into work by 9. Do you mind taking a moment to understand the culture of us younger folk? We all love going out to clubs and the bars to get drunk and mess around, even if it's during the week. Oh, but for an old hag like you, that's impossible. What do you think of your career in this company? Is it just a game to you? Because I am well aware of the reasons for why you're working here right now, and that you were only hired because of the word your father went and put in for you. And since I respect your father a lot, I was very excited to see who you were and be the one in charge of your training and work. However, right now, I'm tired of listening to all your small comments about what I'm doing. I don't care about what you think, and I never will. Old hags sure don't seem to read the room very well, do they? You seem to think that your opinion is something that the rest of the world should have as well, right? I guess people weren't kidding when they said that as one gets older, they are less likely to be open-minded about things and then become stuck in their ways. Well, when I start to become old, I promise that I'll never turn into whatever the hell you've become. Paige, I don't care that you're the daughter of the executive director. There are things you should be saying and things you should not be saying to others. And right now, everything you're saying to me is not acceptable. And like I said, you're already fired, so you can shut up. I literally do not care to listen to your little snotty comments anymore, because all they're doing is pissing me off. Anyhow, you're fired, which means that you never come around me ever again, please. I'm really sorry, George. I don't think I'm ever going to become as amazing of a manager as you are. Perhaps it's time I start thinking about other paths in the company that are a lot better suited to someone like myself.
I just saw that you started to text me for the first time in such a long time. But what's all this about? You don't feel as though you're doing a good job as a manager anymore and want to do something else now?
Just a second ago, I received a few texts from your daughter, from Paige. She told me that she went to her father and said that he's going to fire me now. In other words, you're going to be firing me now, right?
What did you say?
To be honest with you, I'm in shock over what she said. To think that I'm hated that much by someone like Paige. I was just trying to become like you, a higher-up who made sure to turn me into an ace employee for this company. But I guess becoming someone like you is too much for me. So it's probably time for me to step down from this position and go back to working as a base-level employee here.
At one point today, she did come to me about something like that. She made this massive deal about wanting me to fire a female higher-up of hers, but to think that she was talking about you that whole time? Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to listen to anything she said for me to do. I'm kind of tired of having to hear that girl say some of the stupidest things to me all the time. I kind of made it clear to her then that I was going to think about everything before I made a decision based on what she'd asked. But it seems she didn't even listen to that last part and just assumes I'm going to fire you now. Why was she even coming to me asking for that in the first place, though? What happened between you two that led her to want you fired?
Actually, almost every single day, your daughter is coming into work drunk and reeking of alcohol. I have warned her about that multiple times now, saying she could get into serious trouble, but that doesn't seem to have worked on her. And so this morning, I was a bit tougher on her about it.
So that's what led to her coming to me about you, right? To think that my own daughter would be coming into work every day drunk? I knew that she would stay out pretty late every night playing around, but because she was making it into work on time every day, I didn't think there were any issues with the life she'd been living. I'm sorry, this has all happened because I'd taken my eyes off of her too quickly.
If you're going to blame yourself for this, allow me to at least take a little bit of it too. I'm the one who was tasked with taking care of Paige as her boss after all. As her direct manager and everything, I wanted to really do my best taking care of her and turning her into a good employee.
You're not to blame for any of this.
I've been thinking, maybe it's time I take a break from all this.
Don't be so quick to ask for something as idiotic as that.
But I'd like to go to the hospital is all.
As long as you're not leaving us for good, that's fine. I don't want to lose you, especially since all this time you've done so much for this company. As for my daughter, you can let me deal with her.
I can't stop laughing. So you're not even going to try coming into work today? You made all these claims about how a true adult should be acting, and yet here you are slacking off from work, not showing up for it today. Today I made sure to take the day off. I already told my boss that I'd be taking the day off and couldn't come in. So there shouldn't be an issue, right? Are you sure about that? Are you sure you're not staying home today because you were told that you'd be getting fired and that put you into a deep state of shock? If you're wanting to talk about me being shocked because of something, that's true. And because of that, I'm a bit too tired to be coming into work today. So right now I'm at the hospital having a checkup done to make sure I'm not sick with anything serious. You're getting a checkup done at the hospital? You literally sound like a grandma. If things are becoming too much for you, maybe it's best you begin to think about retirement. Do you know who's to blame for me being in this state, though? Who do you think has had to be the one doing all of that extra work you left behind after never doing your job? I've had to stay late after everybody else leaves the office, all in order to take care of the work you never did. I have been working so much recently that it's begun to affect my health. Hey, that's all happened because you suck at getting your work done on time. How about you stop blaming me for that, please? Really, you are a useless boss. The fact that you're now going to blame your subordinate for your own problems means that you really are not needed anymore. Since you're a failure as my boss, you mind leaving the company right now for me? I see. Well, I guess I'll leave then. I didn't realize you hated me that much to say those things about me today. Had you quit from the very start, you wouldn't have to be as sick as you are now. To tell you the truth, not a single person in this department has ever dared go against the word of the executive director's daughter besides the old hag. I'm the leader of this place after all, and you should be punished for going against me. But those who you seem to think you rule over aren't as many as you might think. To be honest, pretty soon here you're going to lose all of those who you think are your subjects. Stop it with that sore loser talk. Just shut the hell up, you old hag, and get lost. Well, when you're crying your eyes out later, I'm not going to listen to it. Huh? I'm not going to be crying my eyes out over anything, though. Hello? Old hag on the verge of death. You should have gotten a call from my dad already, right? Did you just avoid his call because you're too afraid to take a call from him talking about how you'll be fired? Sorry about that. I had just gotten back home and was taking a nap. There are close to 500 missed call notifications on my phone from him. Seems like your father is really in trouble. I'll have to go and apologize to him later. Well, you apologizing to him isn't going to change the fact that you're being fired. I've already started going around the office telling everyone about it too, which means that now everyone in the company is going to know that you'll no longer be working here anymore. There's no way for you to make a comeback now. And that's what I expected. Your father did end up sending me a very long message while he was trying to get a hold of me. He asked me if I'm really planning to leave the company and that I really can't do something as stupid as that. I think your father freaked out after hearing the rumor you'd been spreading and really wanted to know the truth. And he was trying to get me to change my mind, it seems. What? Huh? Why would my dad be trying to stop you from leaving? I never talked with you about this story before, but your father, the current executive director, was once my trainer. When I had first joined the company, he was the one who made sure I did everything the correct way. The reason I've made it to where I am today is because of him. Is that right? But what does that have to do with anything? Compared to an old hag like you, my dad would much rather listen to what I want over you. So when I tell him to have you fired, he's going to make sure that you're fired for sure. But what if I told you that I'm the CEO's daughter? A cheap lie like that is never going to work on me. You sound so crazy now that I'm actually going to laugh. You're welcome to believe that I'm lying right now. But if I really was lying to you about that, then why would your father have called me 500 times trying to stop me from leaving? What? Are you serious? But nobody ever told me anything about you being the CEO's daughter. If you've really been the daughter of the CEO this whole time, then shouldn't everyone be sucking up to you more? And shouldn't you be working in a higher level position than just the manager of the sales department? Nobody knows about who I am, though, because I've made sure to keep it all a secret. I'm being asked to become the next CEO of this company once my dad has stepped down, but I also enjoy doing what I've been doing so far, working as the manager of the sales department. So I've been thinking of working as the manager right up until I'm asked to take my dad's seat. That's why I never wanted to say anything to any of the people here about who I really am. Which is why there are very, very few people within this company who actually know that I'm the CEO's daughter. I don't get why you'd want to hide something like that, though, from everyone. Why aren't you acting all high and mighty when you're literally, like, the second in command here? Because I don't feel the need to act all arrogant and proud of myself like that. Anyway, just know that your father is fully aware that I'm the daughter of the CEO. And that is exactly why he started to get all worked up like that after he heard the rumors that I'd be leaving the company. I made sure to talk with him about a lot of what might happen yesterday, but it seems you really wanted me gone as soon as possible, right? Well, your father already told me that he won't have me fired, no matter how hard you try and get him to. Then why did you tell me a while ago that you'd be quitting? Don't you want to leave this company? I never said that I was quitting the company. I just said I was leaving my position as the sales department manager. I don't want to have to deal with you anymore. Also, I was told by my dad that it's time for me to take on some more roles within this company in order to prepare. I never knew about that, though. This is unfair. I don't care that you're the next in line CEO of this company. My dad should be above you as the executive director. So I'm going to figure out some way to get you fired from here. Dad, why are you not listening to what I asked you to do and doing it? You have a choice between your one and only daughter and that old hag. Who is more important to you right now?
Paige, do you not understand the type of woman that Olive is?
I already heard about that crap from her. She's the daughter of the current CEO, right? Her hiding such an important fact like that about herself from the rest of us is so freaking stupid of her. I hate people like that. I bet you, deep down, she was doing it on purpose to make me look bad. She is someone an executive director like you should not be defending right now.
Olive is not the type of person who would do something like that to hurt you in any way. The reason all of this had to happen to you in the first place is because you chose to continue coming into work drunk every day. You are the reason for all of this, yet for some reason you don't see that. Why not?
Huh? What? Are you getting all worked up now because she's the CEO's daughter? Does she make you scared, Dad? I don't care that she says she's going to be the next CEO someday, because right now all she is the manager of the sales department. That's all she is. Which means that you are still above her on the company ladder, Dad. All you need to do is just fire her and everything will go back to being normal. Or could it be that you feel close to her because you were the one who trained her back in the day?
If you know about how she was my trainee, what makes you think you should still be talking about us? I have no reason at all to be firing her, yet you keep going on about how I have every right to do that to her.
Jeez, come on, Dad. Are you actually going to let that old hag win? Ugh, this is the worst. I'm going to go tell Mom about this right now. I'm not sure what the hell has been going on here inside the company walls, but maybe you and that old hag have become too close to one another. Disgusting.
Listen, you cut that crap out right now, making fun of other people like that. I really was an idiot spoiling you as much as I did just because you're my daughter. You just had to keep telling me about how hard it was for you to find a job after school. Because of that, you made me think you actually wanted to take things seriously and work for a change, and that's why I got you a job here in my company.
And I've been coming into work, haven't I?
While you reek of alcohol, right? Are you gonna tell me that you've been coming in and actually doing your job while being drunk? Back when you were first born, this company wasn't as big as it is now, and the best I could do with this job was bring home the money needed to feed you and your mom. But that required me to also be at work a lot more and leave the house in your mom's hands, which now I'm really starting to regret. I never thought you'd be raised into this ignorant little self-centered child by your mother alone.
I'm not some self-centered child, though.
You're going to object to that when you're not even listening to what I have to say? I'm to blame for you becoming such a woman, and that means I'm going to take full responsibility for you.
What kind of responsibility are you talking about? Are you going to do so by firing the old hag for me? Or do you mean that you're going to promote me into a position that would allow me to work even less and make even more?
From now on, I am no longer going to be sending you any more of my money.
What?
And of course that means I'm canceling that credit card of yours that I made for you as well. You still have plenty of things you need to learn before becoming a self-respecting adult. And in order for you to learn, you're being kicked out of the house. So while you're out living on your own, you're gonna have to make your own money in order to support yourself.
You can't do that to me. With the money I'm making here, I can barely even afford to go out and play every night.
Which is strange considering that this company pays their new hires very well. Paige, you need to learn what's actually important in life as an adult, and that means you're gonna have to fix that selfish character you've developed and learn to think more about others.
No way. I already told my friends, though, that next week I'd be going to the biggest club in the city with them. Also, I told them that drinks would all be on me that night.
I don't care about that. I have no reason to be paying for you to go out and spend all that money anymore.
But if you take all the money and my credit card away from me, I'll no longer be able to go out with my friends. What are you going to do when I end up all alone?
If you not having money means that you'll no longer have any friends, then you need to understand that they never were your friends in the first place. In other words, you guys only ever hung out because of the money you had.
No way.
If you don't want to live the rest of your life alone, then you need to work on fixing your behavior to one where people will enjoy you for who you are. You're an adult now, which means that you need to take responsibility for things like that on your own. Are we done here? I have a lot on my plate at the moment, and you need to hurry up and pack all your things so that you can leave my house soon.
No, I don't want to leave the house. Paige, seems you've still not made it into work today. Did you take the day off or something? Shut the hell up! I don't have time to go into work anymore. I am busy getting myself ready to move out of my dad's house right now. Oh my, so you're having to move out of your parents' house now, I see. Well, isn't that great? You'll finally be able to learn what it means to be an adult. I bet you're seeing this as the best outcome for you right now, aren't you? Well, it's not for me. My dad isn't going to be giving me any more money, and I'll have to start surviving on my own. But I don't have the money to do that right now. And when I told all of my friends that I promised to go out to the clubs with that I could no longer go, they all blocked me. Because of you, I'm going to be all alone. Isn't that your fault, though, since you only ever made friends with those that only seem to care about your money? Please don't blame me for something I had nothing to do with. No, this is your fault, though. Being next in line to becoming the CEO, you have the ability to talk with HR, right? That means you can tell them to raise my salary for me. If you do that for me, then I'll forgive you for all those times you went against me. I really don't care for your forgiveness, Paige. I know that really you're jealous of the young and beautiful woman I am, right? That's the only reason you could possibly have for bullying me like this. You think that a trivial reason like that is why I was always hard on you? How about you stop belittling me like that for once? All I was doing was trying to train you into a decent employee for the company, as that was my duty as the manager of our department. I had every right to talk to you like that and treat you like you didn't know what you were doing. The biggest problem I had with you wasn't even to do with your drinking either. It was to do with you always using your father's position as the executive director to take advantage of others and make them do all your work while you just sat there sleeping or eating. And no matter how many times I went and warned you, you never once listened to me. Which is why I ended up taking on so much stress. This is the exact reason why I hate people who use their parents' position to get whatever they want, no matter if they deserve it or not. Huh? Because I am the daughter of a CEO, I have been raised in a very strict household. Not only was I having to study every day at school, but when I'd get home and finish all my homework, my dad would teach me about his company and about how to become a successful person. And he always told me that no matter what, studying to succeed was the most important thing in life. I had to be careful when I'd go to school or hang out with my friends to never tell them who I really was. I didn't want for people to treat me differently because my dad is powerful or because I had to study all the time at home. Yet after all these years of having to be careful about what I told others, you came into this company and started to tell everyone who your father is and what you could do. And whenever anyone would talk back to you or go against you, you threatened to have them fired over it. I know all about your threats to everyone in our department, Paige. Well, that's because... But if I can use what I have, I'm going to use it. I'm not sure if you were ever aware of this or not, but to this company, you are nothing more than heavy baggage. All you ever do is pick on everyone else, never doing a single thing that you're supposed to. There is no use for a person like you in this company. I had a talk with my dad, and starting next month, I'll be the new CEO of this company. I thought I'd just let you know that right now so that you can prepare. Because starting next month, you are going to be let go and will no longer have a job here. You're kidding me. You can't. I've already lost all that money which was coming from my dad. How will I be able to pay for myself now? I never thought something like this could ever happen to me, and that's why I went out and bought all sorts of new jewelry and clothing and stuff online. But now my dad is telling me to pay for all that stuff myself. Yet now I'm going to be fired too, if that happens. You still have a month before you have to go, though. So during that time, I think it's best you start looking for your next job. I can't! I was already failing at finding a job right after I got out of school. There is no way I can find myself a new job now. Please, you can do anything to me, but just don't fire me. I promise that from now on I will change and make sure to get all my work done. What are you going on about? You still have a chance to find work outside of here, right? After all, unlike the old hag I am, you are a young and attractive young woman, right? I'll apologize to you for all the times I called you an old hag, all right? So please, as the CEO, can you make sure not to have me fired from this company? The thing is, though, Paige, I can no longer trust any of the things you're saying to me right now. So please try your best to find yourself a new job before your time is up here. Good luck. No way. What do I have to do in order to get you to forgive me? Do you want me to come to your office and get on all fours begging you to forgive me or something? Olive!
Paige has finally gone and moved out of my house now. She took all the things that she could physically bring along with her and left, and will now start looking for a new job out there in the world somewhere. Olive, with everything in mind, I am so sorry for all the trouble that she caused you. Due to her violent behavior of thinking she could just do whatever she wanted in the office, you had to go through a lot.
Well, that's very true. I just never expected her to take things so far with that attitude she has and end up hurting herself in the end.
She was able to do all of that because I spent too much time here, working for this company, and was never around her enough to teach her how to become a decent person. Since I plan on taking full responsibility for her actions, would it be all right if I stepped down from my position as executive director and left the company? I'll allow you to tell me if that's okay or not. After all, you're going to be the next CEO starting next month, which means by that point you can do anything you want to me, and I won't be able to say a word.
I suppose it would be easy for me to get rid of you now. But I know best just how amazing of a person you are, both inside of this company and outside of it.
Stop saying all those things about me. After what happened this time, you know those are not true.
Having to become the new CEO for this company is a very big deal and something that requires all hands on deck. So for you to leave this company or have me fire you, that would be a massive blow to us and cannot be allowed. For the sake of this company and all the men and women who work under you, please stay with us for a little while longer. I need someone like you in this company, even if I'm in a position above you.
I see. If that's what you're going to say to me, then it can't be helped, can it? I promise to make up to you all of that trouble my daughter caused one way or another. And the first way I'll do that for you is by making sure my daughter is fired right away.
I'll leave you to that then, George. Thank you. After having been kicked out of her parents' house, Paige went and found herself a dirt-cheap apartment to move into. That was very old and falling apart at all four corners of the room. But due to the fact that a woman like her had always lived a life of spending so much money, making everything she consumed and owned fancy, whatever money she was making during her remaining time in the company was all wasted. What could have been used to pay off all that debt she was in was gone, and that led to her having to go into even further debt as the interest on her credit card started to kick in. I believe that at some point she just gave up and went to a loan shark or something to get more money in order to pay that credit card debt off, as well as have some extra money to enjoy herself with again. But I knew that it wouldn't be long before that loan shark sent someone after her to get that money back, and I think that would end up happening to her soon enough. And while she was going around looking for a new job to take on after being fired, she tried to have her dad help her by putting in a good word for her. However, plenty of her coworkers whom she had abused and forced to do all of her work back here had already taken things online and spoke about how horrible of an employee she was, and that there was no merit at all in hiring someone like her. So in the end, she was never able to find a new job before she had to leave my company and would be in much bigger trouble. Because like I was suspecting would soon happen, the loan shark sent some of his goons after her, and they found her walking out of her apartment and followed her. They followed her all the way to this old and abandoned part of town, where they then went and snatched her, and took her somewhere nobody could find her, and taught her a lesson in why it wasn't smart to try avoiding the debt that she was in. And so once that lesson had been taught to her, and she was all bruised up and looking like a dropped apple, she was taken back to her apartment and told to start paying up. After she realized there was no hope for her, she settled for a part-time job working at a coffee shop on the first floor of her apartment building, where she's now having to work as a dish cleaner, making minimum wage. She no longer has any friends or family to really spend time with either, and has resorted to spending all of her time at home in that old apartment, never even having to leave the apartment building since she's already working there. As for myself, the end of the month had come, and with that, I was made the new CEO of the company as my dad went and retired. And as the new CEO, the first thing I did was tell everyone that I'd be doing some small restructuring and such to the company to make it a far nicer place for everyone to work in and no longer worry about people like Paige being hired, which saw huge support from everyone. Having to be a CEO is a very tough job, and I can tell you right now that it will be some time before I'm really used to the responsibilities. But having a close friend, and my trainer is still at my side to this day, means that I'll have nothing to worry about at all and can rely on him in case there is ever a thing I might need. Hey, old hag, there isn't anything to eat right now. Why does someone who is only smart enough to do chores not even have the chores done today? At least do what you were born to do, please. What? Violet, you were coming back home today? I'm sorry, but today I'm at work. I won't be home from work until later tonight, so I made sure to tell your father to make up something for dinner. I don't care about that. Well, recently you haven't been coming home that often, so if you're going to do so, please text me and let me know first. I'm pretty busy with work now, and there are times when I can't come home early. I told Dad that I was going to come home today, but I'm pretty sure that the two of you haven't been communicating all too well recently between one another. So it's not impossible that he never told you, and that's why you didn't know. But as a wife and mom, you should always be managing things like dinner, right? That's why you're being called a failure as a mother and a failure as a wife now. Are you sure you have to say those kinds of things about me? I have been trying my best to be a good mother to you and a great wife to my husband. And even right now, I'm taking care of you, right? Well, there hasn't been a single moment where I've thought that you've been doing a good job caring for me, though. A pile of crap like you could at the very least get all your chores done like you've been asked. If you don't, you're most likely going to be thrown aside by Dad as he finds someone else. Violet, don't you think you could at least be a bit more kind to me and treat me with some respect from time to time? And you should be more careful of the things you say about others. You're in college now, which means something like that should be noticeable to you, correct? Huh? You're going to preach to me like you're someone special now? There is nothing that's going to make me want to listen to your preaching when you can't even do your one and only job of cleaning and cooking. How about you start working on changing your own self around before asking me to? I guess you're getting too old now for anything I have to say to you to mean anything. But to be honest, you've always been this way around me. Always. I think soon here the family should take some time to all sit down together and talk some things out. How does that sound? Sounds like a pain in the ass to me. Well, whatever. Today I'll just go out for dinner. I'm going to make you pay me back for that later, okay? Please and thank you. Violet, are you even listening to me right now? Violet. Do you think you could make some time to sit down with Violet and I so we can all have a little chat? I'm a bit concerned about the way Violet has been talking to me in an even more condescending tone lately. I feel that if we don't talk with her about that and have her change that attitude, she's going to have a rough future ahead.
She has every right to be talking down to you in a tone like that, though. There's nothing special about you because all you are is a pile of trash.
And I think the reason she talks to me like that is because she's gotten that poor attitude from you, Ralph. Could you at least only talk to me like that when we're alone and not around her?
Well, I'm not saying anything wrong, am I? When all of this is your fault, stop trying to make it sound like mine. Such a freaking idiot.
Hold on, are you even listening to me?
Talking with someone like you is only a waste of my time. Even though you're hated by both myself and Violet, you still choose to live in the same house as us, huh? I would never be able to put up with all of this crap every day. You must be pretty strong with that thick skull of yours, you dumbass.
Ralph, would you please cut all of that out and talk to me like I'm your wife? I'm seriously getting to my last nerve here, and I don't want you guys both crawling all over it. If you guys aren't going to join me for a little family meeting, then I'm going to take matters into my own hands.
Duh, what a pain. Just having to go out and see you in person and listen to your voice is a pain for me. If you get what I mean, then how about you start to earn some real money for us? Bye-bye now, and stop sending me all these needless texts all the time. I'm a very busy man that doesn't have the time to be talking with you.
You shouldn't even be saying things like that to your own wife. But I get it now. I finally understand your way of thinking well enough to make my own decision now. Hey, it seems like the lock on the front door is broken or something. I can't let myself inside the house right now. What should I be doing here, Ralph? Are you on your way home from work right now?
I went and changed the lock on the house.
What? What do you mean you went and changed the lock? Why would you do something like that?
I had a nice long chat with Violet the other night, and we came to the conclusion that neither of us really need you around us anymore.
Excuse me? You don't need me around you guys anymore. What are you trying to say to me right now? I have no clue what you think you're going on about right now, but what made you think changing the lock on this house was a good idea without informing me about it?
We had a reason to, and that's to make sure you can no longer come into the house anymore. In other words, we're telling you to get lost by doing it. There's no place for you in that house anymore. Thanks for all the half-assed work you did taking care of us. And the loan on the place has lasted for 20 years now, right? Which means it should be pretty much paid off by now.
So you're really wanting to kick me out of the house and family now, Ralph? And that's why you went and changed the lock on me like this? And you said that Violet was 100% okay with this happening?
Actually, it was her that came up with the idea of having you kicked out.
Is that right? So this was all her plan?
That just goes to show how much the girl has always hated your guts. It's been 20 years now of her and I both hating you, and I'd really like you to start realizing that, please. All the locks on the house have been changed, so don't you dare ever come back to my place.
I see. I'll try my best not to. And as for you both, good luck.
You're the one that's gonna need all the luck you can get now. Your usefulness has been all used up now. In other words, we have nothing else we could possibly need you around us for. So sorry for squeezing you dry. Now get the hell off my property and go someplace else.
Understood. I'm going to get lost as you've asked. But I still have some things to do with the loan on this house, as well as grab all my things from the room so that I don't have to lose them all to you. So do you mind me climbing in through one of the windows? Seems like the one closest to Violet's bedroom wasn't locked, so I'm able to get it open still.
What? Was there even a window over by your bedroom?
After 20 years of living in this house, you don't have any recollection of this window? Well, no matter. I'm going to grab all my things now and take them out here. And like you've seemed to have been wanting, we're going to get a divorce, so don't worry. I'll make sure to have a truck over tomorrow to grab the rest of my things. I'll be working on the divorce papers for us, as well as the loan papers for the house, so that you may take over on paying things off. Can you make sure to fill out all of your parts for me, please?
You're gonna be all annoying about this crap all the way to the very end, huh?
Well, if we don't do all of these things the proper way, then I'm not going to be leaving this house, Ralph. And you wouldn't want to have to get back in touch with one another later on in life, right? I mean, we could always hire lawyers at that point to work things out with one another, so I guess it wouldn't matter. But that would just be a waste of our money, correct?
Huh? Get a lawyer? You think I'd want to do something even more annoying than what we're already having to do? I get it already. I'll make sure to fill out all my parts on those documents and sign them. Make sure you have them ready for me and on the counter for when I get home. And if you don't do that for me, then I'm not gonna fill out jack.
You people always have to carry things out with that attitude until the very end, don't you? I promise that I'll have everything set out for you in a way that's easy for you to understand. So please, make sure to fill everything out the proper way for me. Now, I'm going to get to work on leaving this place. I'm sure things are going to be a bit more difficult from now on, but just try your best not to sink.
Hey, what happened to you paying off this loan? I just got a letter in the mail saying that this month's payment still hasn't been done. Why's that?
Excuse me? Why are you asking me why it hasn't been paid yet? That's your own house, and it's your job as the owner to make sure that the loan gets paid off on time, right? Stop trying to make me pay for your property, bud. So go ahead and pay this month's payment before it's too late and you get hit hard.
What? What the hell are you talking about? Does that mean you're not going to be paying for this place anymore? And was there really this much of the loan left to be paid off before you left? Didn't you work on paying it off for the past 20 years?
What's that? That loan is going to be paid off over the next 40 years, Ralph.
What? So this loan was taken out for 40 years? Then you're telling me there's another 20 years left to go? How much am I gonna have to pay every month? You think I'm gonna be able to pay off this house for another 20 years?
When you and I were getting divorced, I made sure you had a look at all of the documents that pertain to the loan on that house. You then went and signed everything, transferring the name on that house from mine to yours, right? And actually, the whole time you and Violet had been persecuting me, I'd been the one paying off that loan so we could live there. Since I was able to do that for 20 years, don't you think you can do the other 20? Or is that not going to be possible with your income?
Hold on a minute. Does this mean I'm gonna have to pay for things like the water and gas to the house? That's why there are so many bills coming in the mail addressed to me right now. What the hell is this? You should be the one paying for all these things, right?
Would you stop acting like a goddamn spoiled child already?
What?
You and I are divorced now. So why the hell should I have to pay for you and Violet to live in a house that isn't even mine anymore? Both the loan on that house and all of the bills are meant to be paid by you now, of course. And if you're not able to pay those things now, then how about you go and talk with Violet about it and have her start helping you pay? And if that's going to be impossible for the two of you, then it's time to think about moving out of that place and into a new house, right? But let's be real here, all of those things have nothing to do with me, so could you please stop talking to me about them? I want you to learn right now that you contacting me about any of those things won't fix them for you, so leave me alone.
But I don't make a whole lot of money. The whole reason you were paying for everything is because you make more than me, right? And I really had no clue there would still be another 20 years left of this loan after kicking you out. I can't pay all of this.
Is that so? Then why not leave?
What did you just say? And where would we go to live next? Stop saying things that make it sound like you have nothing to do with this.
What would you like me to say to you then? I have nothing left at all that I care to say to someone like you, Ralph.
That's it. You left me with Violet in the divorce, so you pay me her child support.
Her child support? Ralph, are you saying that to me seriously?
I sure am. You know that I'm serious about this. If I'm gonna have to be the one who has to care for her from now on all by myself, then naturally you should be paying me child support now, right? It's the parent's responsibility to pay something like child support for their child. Are you even her parent if you don't pay up? Well, even if you don't, then make sure you at least pay for this house and all the bills that come with it. You're her parent after all, so you have to at least be paying for something, right?
What is there for me to say about all of that? You're wanting me to pay child support for Violet, even though she's a 20-year-old college student now that's barely even home anymore. Okay.
Her age has nothing to do with it.
The thing is, though, it really does. Child support is something that is only paid until the child has turned 18. And as you and I should both be aware, she is 20 years old. She's an adult. There is nothing called adult support for her, right? And another thing, you just made it sound like I was the one that left her with you to take care of. But wasn't it the both of you that had that chat with one another to change all the locks on the house and have me kicked out of it? Tell me, how did I make you take her when I never had a choice in the first place?
This and that are two completely different things.
Oh, they are? Tell me what's so different, Ralph, As far as I'm aware, for the past 20 years, I've been the only one who's really cared for Violet. And I've been the one paying for all her needs as well, right? So I don't really understand what you were going on about just then when you said it's the parents' responsibility to pay for their child. Actually, I didn't even think you could understand something like that. I always thought you just expected me to pay for everything, for the both of your sorry little asses.
I just had you paying because, look, you were the one with a bigger salary, which made me think I shouldn't have to be the one forced to pay.
Is that right? Well then, now that I'm no longer your wife, you're going to have to take care of things, okay? For the past 25 years, I've been the one taking care of you with my income since you've been practically unemployed this whole time. I get that you love to talk about how you wanted to quit your job and find another, and then quit that one and find another. But when you do that over and over again, it really starts to piss me off. Because I felt that I'd have to be the one paying for you in the house for the rest of my life. But the funny thing about it all is as much as you love to talk about it with me, you never said a word about it to your own daughter. And as long as you look good to her, that's all that matters, right? And in order to keep her from believing anything I said to her about you, you started to tell her to not trust me and to call me names like you would. Then once you had felt as though you'd had enough of me, you used her hatred for me as a way to get me kicked out of the house and the family. Right?
If you're so upset about being kicked out, then you can come back here anytime.
Huh? Can you even read, Ralph? Have you been reading any of the things I just sent you there? I'm sorry, but I have no idea what's going on with you anymore. Why, after all the things I've said to you, would you think that I'd ever want to go back to that house?
Because that's what all of this is about. You're still upset about how Violet and I took over the house and kicked you out, right? Then forget about it. You can come back here. I'll make sure to talk with Violet about why you're coming back. So come back here and let's all get back together, all right? Then you can go back to paying for everything like you'd been doing before for us, like the loan and the bills.
Is this what people mean when they say it's too difficult to speak to animals? You seem to have never understood the English language then, huh? Well, that's too bad, really. I'm kind of sad seeing you struggle so much, try and comprehend even the most basic of things in English. If you just assumed that all of those things I was saying meant I was upset about being kicked out of that house, then you are very much wrong about that. I am tired of you guys. You both really did a number on me these past 20 years, and it's going to end here.
What do you mean you're tired of us? What did we ever do to you?
Well, it's primarily been you that's done all of those things to me and not Violet. Back when she was young, she was a very cute little girl to me. But after you went and brainwashed her, she turned into a real bitch. It's all because of the things you said to her about me that she started to think it was fine to hate her own mother.
Why is all of this my fault? I didn't have anything to do with her emotions. That's not even something I, as a man, can control.
Well, in some cases, that's true, actually. But now, especially, there is nothing you can do about the way she talks and acts. You were saying horrible things about me to her ever since she could understand what you were saying, all while I had been working my ass off to pay off all your debt and pay for our home and everything. I was so busy doing all those things for you guys, yet all you ever cared about was why I was never home doing the chores, and complained to me about our daughter in the worst ways possible. You have talked down to me like that all this time, Ralph, all while your daughter was there listening and learning from it. And that is why she now behaves the same way as you, talking down to me and treating me like I'm nothing at all. In the end, that led to her just outright hating me, all because you constantly drove into her mind that it was right to hate me. Well, going on about all of this now isn't going to really change anything, will it?
There was no helping that, though. That's all I ever had to say about you then. Had I not been complaining about you all the time in front of her, she might have started to ask about why I wasn't going to work every day. So I had to make her think that you were the problem, and that's what I did.
The choice you made doing all of that is crazy to me, though. Well, anyway, you and I are divorced from one another now, which means from now on, leave me out of your mess. Since that happens to be your house now, you do something with your own means to make it work.
How dare you not take responsibility for this?
How dare I? Hasn't it been you never taking any responsibility for anything but years and years now, bud? It was you that had me kicked out of the house with the help of your daughter, so figure out how to manage your mistake. Oh, that's right. Now that I have you here, I want to say that I am no longer paying for Violet's tuition and won't be giving her an allowance anymore either.
What? Her tuition? What are you talking about?
After all that talking about how you would make yourself look good in front of your own daughter, you don't seem to know anything about her at all, do you? Your daughter's going to college right now and has to pay a tuition to be there. And this next semester that she enters into, I am not going to be paying for it. By the end of this month, you're going to have to pay for her next semester, so good luck with that.
Wait, what? She has a tuition that needs to be paid? I never knew that she needed to pay to go to that school. That's something I'll have to pay for as well? What? But what's my reason for having to pay that? I don't even have any savings left, so how am I gonna pay for that?
You're going to start yelling at me over that again? Are you angry at yourself because you're finally realizing all the things I had to put up with and pay for while you were both constantly patronizing me? Well, even if you finally come to understand things for how they've truly been, nothing is going to change. Now then, good luck paying for all of those things on your own. And make sure to work with your daughter from now on so she doesn't start to hate you next and have you kicked out of that house. Now, this is really my goodbye to you forever. Thank you for what little you gave up to me until now. But let's be honest, there's nothing at all I really need to thank you for. Mom, what the hell is going on here? I heard about a lot of this from Dad, but you're not going to be paying for this house or for my tuition anymore? Do you call yourself a mother still after saying those things? Do you understand what it means to be my parent? What's that? I'm afraid I don't understand a single word that just came out of your mouth there. What? Mom? Stop acting like my daughter only when it's to benefit you, Missy. And after all that time of talking to me like I was nothing more than a slave to you, and after realizing all of the things I'd been paying for the both of you guys without a single thank you, you're going to come and call yourself my daughter and act like all of this is my fault? This is why I told your father that I can no longer stand dealing with the both of you anymore. I am no longer a part of your family now, so consider me a stranger to you. A stranger? If you're saying all of that, then what are Dad and I going to do? You're an adult now, Violet. And I am well aware that the whole time you've been going to college, you've really only been going out to mess around with different men and play with your girlfriends. How about you get yourself a part-time job, at least if you're wanting to just waste time and help your dad with the bills? It's not like he's able to pay for the house or your tuition on his own, right? So really, all there is left for you to do is work. But I'm only a college student still. For me to go and work now to make money? Stop behaving like a goddamn spoiled child like your father. I went through 20 years of putting all my time and money into making sure you were cared for, along with your father, and yet you never once thanked me for any of it and only grew to hate me more. I am not going to do that anymore, and I am thankful that you both kicked me out of the family. If you're still wanting to stay in school, then you make that happen yourself. Go ask your father for help there. That's it. Do you understand what I've just said? Well, even if you don't, I don't care. There is nothing else I can say that will help either one of you, so leave me. Good luck with that father of yours, and I hope you both don't end up homeless. Well, I don't have high hopes for that, though, with a father like Ralph. Mom, it's been a little while. Are you doing all right? What is all of this about? I dropped out of college, and I'm even working now, over 40 hours every week. All of those things you said to me before, I've finally come to understand now. And so I wanted to apologize to you. Apologizing to me? Why would you want to? I feel that the way I'd been treating you for so long now was not the way a daughter should treat their mother. That's very true. For as long as I can remember, you've been a real bitch to me for no good reason. I'm so sorry for that. I've finally come to realize that I need to stop relying on others and work for myself now. Dad wasn't able to pay for anything like you were saying. Not the house, not the bills, not for my tuition. I had to leave the house after he went and sold it one day without even talking to me first. I haven't seen him since then, and he never replies to any of my calls or texts. I've started to really think about who I was to him.
That man has always been that way, ever since I married him. He only wants to think about himself being the strong one and doesn't care about others.
I finally, although much too late, realized that it's because of you, having always taken care of me, that I've made it to where I am at now. I'm sure there's no easy way to forgive me or anything, but I've been thinking maybe you and I can become close to one another again.
Violet, I'm happy to hear that you finally noticed all of those things, and hearing that you're doing all right on your own now makes me feel all joyful for you. I'm not going to be supporting you financially anymore, but if that's okay with you, then I'm fine talking to one another over the phone every once in a while.
I don't need any more of your money. I know that I have to support my own life now.
Then that means you really have grown up then, huh?
Mom, I'm so sorry for everything that I've done to you. From now on, is it all right if I keep calling you Mom like this again?
The thing is, Violet, I've always been your mother. Therefore, it's all right for you to call me your mom. Now, the next time I have time to talk, let's call, okay? Now you take good care of yourself and try and stay happy, Violet. I know that the harder you fight and work, the better off you'll be down the road. So I'll talk to you soon. And thank you for finally understanding the things I had said to you. Violet seemed to be doing well on her own, having a job where she could work full-time and a small little apartment to stay in. And after a year had gone by of her being out of college, she was able to pay for school again and started to study some more until she had finally graduated. Then, after she was out of school with her degree, she was able to get into the company she'd been aiming for, with no issues at all. When she had invited me to come all the way out to her graduation ceremony, I was in tears, thinking that she actually wanted her own mother to be there and see her. Right now, it's still unknown where my pile of garbage ex-husband ran off to, but I like to think things are millions of times better this way and don't care to ever find him. To both my daughter and I, he is the most unnecessary person we know, and are doing just fine without him. Being able to finally have my little girl back after close to 20 years of constant torture and having to fight with her has made me feel so blessed, and I can't wait to see what comes next for us as mother and daughter.
I made sure to get a present together for my grandkids for making it into that school. I've got them all building block sets that they've been asking for, as well as some games and toys that they can play when they have free time. Ah, but your son isn't going to be getting anything, as I really hate you and view him as a stranger. So when I bring all these gifts out to the rest of the kids, make sure your son doesn't scream and cry calling it unfair. Because it is.
I really don't care about you hating me, but could you leave my kid out of it? He hasn't done anything wrong, and isn't even old enough to hurt you, even if he wanted to.
Leave your kid out of it. But isn't that your kid, your son of all people? Then wouldn't that mean all the things he has to go through are your fault?
What do you mean by that? My son hasn't done anything wrong to deserve your crap.
But you have, and that's why your son is going to have to pay for it as well.
Again with this? I have not been using any of Jack's savings for myself. That is just him making crap up about me so that I look like the bad guy. Why can't you just accept the things I've been saying and stop treating your son like a spoiled brat?
So, Elena, you're calling Jack a liar now? How terrible. Not only have you been stealing all of his money, but now you're going to paint him as a liar? And to think I was so proud of my son for getting married to you so many years ago. I thought he found himself a trophy wife, considering how gorgeous you look on the outside and how well you seem to cook. But now I am really starting to see your true colors. And boy, are they nasty.
Stop saying that. I have not been stealing anything from Jack, and I'm not this nasty woman you keep making yourself think I am.
Could a liar like you please shut up? This has to mean that your son is a liar as well, right? Which means I want you both to go home now. I don't want you two unethical freaks in my house anymore. As you know, my family is something that I must protect, as the head of the family after all. And when there are two liars like you trying to cause havoc for all the rest of us, you're really making me look like a bad person.
What? How dare you say that about my son? He's only 6 years old, for crying out loud.
And when it comes to a liar, it doesn't matter what age they are. Also, What is that other man you brought here all about? Don't tell me that he's your secret boyfriend, and you're feeling bold enough to bring him to see your husband's family.
Just like I had explained to you a second ago, he's my little brother. As a part of my family, I wanted to bring him out here to say hi and introduce himself to you. And actually, he was the one that first said that he wanted to see what Jack's family was all about.
I don't want to learn about a dirty man like that. No, thank you. You take that man back with you as well, please. Considering that he's your little brother, that must make him a liar as well, right?
What the hell did I even do to deserve all this? Why do I have to be treated like I'm nothing more than a deceiving animal in this family?
You have to understand more than anyone else what you did to end up there, right? Now, you better start thanking me for even bringing you out to this family gathering, you thief. Aren't you happy that you were able to eat with the rest of your family today? Well, consider this the last time I invite you to a family gathering now.
The only reason you asked me to come out here today, to be around the rest of the family, is so that you could complain about me in front of all of them, right? You wanted a crowd in front of you so that all your complaints and then jokes about me could be heard, and you'd have your pride grow even larger, right? I never married Jack wanting to join a family like this, and I can't believe it took me almost a decade to realize that you're all nothing more than egotistical trash.
Well, excuse me. How dare you say something like that about me? Even if you can't see it, I've invited you here out of kindness. You think I'd ever have my son come to a family gathering like this one without his wife and son? You all needed to be here, and as you could tell by the way he was laughing at you earlier, he loves the way I treat you guys.
I've had enough of this. I'm heading back to my place right now.
Please, go back to your home right now, and take that disgusting son and brother of yours with you.
I'm never going to forgive you for all of this.
Hey, Elena, are we really going home now? After everything that's happened here already?
We are. If we have to stay here any longer, I'm going to start feeling really bad for Cameron. Also, aren't you being bothered by the way my mother-in-law is acting? Both her and my husband seem to think you're just as bad as my husband has led my mother-in-law into thinking I am.
You know, actually, I'm not bothered at all by the way they pick on me. Because I don't give a crap about any of these losers. So honestly, I'm enjoying myself pretty well. They have at least let us eat some of this really nice food, right? Now, if you're going to leave this gathering without even doing or saying anything, that's going to cause the most problems for everyone, right? Are you trying to walk off with your tail tucked between your legs today? Because that's not like you at all. And you should be coming out here with me to fight back at these assholes.
There's no reason for you to want to stay here anymore, right? I get that you have something up your sleeve for some of these people, but there are kids here, and I don't want Cameron seeing his uncle getting all crazy. Maybe later on you can take my husband out for drinks or something, and give him a talking to then.
Damn it! What the hell is wrong with this whole family? I see that your mother-in-law is quite the bitch that you were telling me about. But your husband isn't any better, is he? Which is crazy considering how much of a weakling he was the first time I met him.
When Jack is in front of all his family and friends, he starts to act all tough like that. In the past, he seemed to be doing really good for himself, and everyone would always spoil him for that. And when it comes to his mother, she'll listen to anything he says to her without thinking twice about it.
So then the both of them are complete idiots. Gross. But the funny thing is, Jack left his job and is now unemployed, right? And when I say left his job, I mean he got fired for being a hopeless idiot in that company, who couldn't even understand that his job was on the line months in advance, when he could get chewed out by everyone there. And now he's having to live off all the money you're making, right? What the hell does he think he's doing acting all high and mighty like that, when he's having to live off his wife's income after being fired for being useless?
Right now, his mother doesn't know that he's unemployed, and she also doesn't know about how I'm the one paying all the bills at home, and I'm the one giving her a monthly allowance right now. She really has no clue about anything, and that has to do primarily with Jack always lying about everything. And Jack is trying to keep things that way between her and us, until the day he dies.
What a childish bastard he is. I'm going to vomit over how gross those two really are as mother and son. How dare he act all kind towards you at home, only to put you down like he has been the moment he comes home to all of his family. What an asshole.
I know. Jack has also been going to his mother for money lately that he can go out and play with, and he gets her to give him some by lying and saying that I've been stealing all of his savings. And that is why I'm being viewed as the enemy now by the whole family.
Why the hell are you letting things stay like that, Elena? You just need to tell everyone the truth right now.
I have been trying to, but not a single person is going to believe what I say. Just like I was saying, everyone in this family spoils the hell out of Jack, which means they will all choose to trust him over me.
Jeez, why the hell have you been hiding all this from me? You should have come to me early about all this, asking me what to do.
But Thomas, by bringing all of this up with you, things are only going to become a lot more complicated, right? Don't worry about it. I'm going to get a divorce from Jack, and then I'm going to cut ties to all these clowns in his family.
That would just be you letting them win, wouldn't it? They'd all continue to think of you and call you a liar, right? Also, I'm not going to let you just run away from them all right now without getting a little payback for what they've all done to you and Cameron.
I knew something like this was going to happen, and that's why I didn't want to bring you along. Cameron is here as well, and I didn't want you to make a huge deal out of all of this.
Everything's going to be fine. I promise to show you just how well I can protect both you and Cameron. Which is why we need to start thinking right here and now how we're going to strike back at these bastards. Don't worry about a thing, please. I'm telling you that I can take care of a lot of things here, as long as you trust me.
I'm happy to hear that you want to protect us so much, but I'm still not sure about all of this.
I will not let assholes like this lot get away with picking on you all they want, thinking that they can do it without repercussions. I appreciate and respect you too much to allow that kind of crap. So please, let me do something about this.
You appreciate and respect me. You really don't have to care about me that much, Thomas.
You were the only parent I had most of my life, though. Which means the only choice I have is to care about all of that.
Thomas, thank you so much. Excuse me, Lilia. Why are you being so cruel towards my son by ignoring him when he's been trying to wave and say hi to you? Can't you at least wave back at him and act like you care when we run into one another like this while being out and about?
Huh? Why do I have to wave at a couple of strangers like you're asking me to? I told you before that I want nothing to do with lying little children like the son you have there, right?
But Cameron has told me how much he loves you. Why can't you see that every time he calls out saying Grammy to you? Ignoring him like that is only going to make him feel worse, you know? Don't you feel bad for doing such a thing?
Not one bit. He's a stranger to me after all. When it comes to how strangers like him are feeling, I don't really care.
There's no way. I can't believe what I'm hearing from you right now. Well, if we're both just strangers to you, then forget about your monthly allowance.
What?
There's no reason for people to be giving an allowance of money every month to a complete stranger, right? So I'm going to stop sending you that money I've been sending each month.
Oh, what do you think you're going on about? The one who has been sending me all this money has been my son. There's no way you can decide whether to stop doing that or not.
I have been explaining things to you many times. Know about that. But let me say this one last time in the hopes of getting something through to you. I have been sending you that money in Jack's place for a while now. Right now, your son is unemployed and has not had an income.
And like I've said, who do you think is going to believe such a baseless lie as that one? For Christ's sake, this is what I've been saying when labeling you a liar.
Alright then, go ahead and don't believe anything I'm telling you right now. But don't worry, because today I've made sure to bring along some evidence with me.
Evidence? What is all of this, Elena?
I made sure to take an audio recording of the conversation I had with your son while at our house. And you can hear him saying it all clear as day right there, right? He tells me to get each month's allowance ready for you, and if I don't, he's going to start doubting me.
Wait, I know what he said in that recording, but this has to be something you've just made up, right?
Something I've just made up. But you can tell by the way he speaks and acts that he is your son Jack, right? How do you think I could have gone about making something like this up?
I'm sure you just went out and found someone who sounds like Jack and used them to play out a scenario where he says all those things to you. If that wasn't the case, then this would be all too strange. How could someone like Jack be unemployed at the moment?
Lilia, I get that you don't want to accept the reality that I've shown you about your son and all, but I've shown you the audio I recorded from one of our conversations, so there's no way you can still doubt everything I'm saying. I have been the one behind all of that money you've received each and every month, and the one who has been paying all the bills, and everything at home is me.
But whenever Jack comes over to my house asking to borrow some money, he told me about you. He goes on about how you're using up all of his savings, and that he really has him on edge. He's even crying when he says all of that to me. I am not going to think of all those tears as a part of a lie.
You can't see them as lies because you've spoiled the son of a bitch for too long now.
No, I haven't. He is a perfect kid who can never lie like that to anyone. And he's such a nice kid that he's even willing to forgive you still for going through and stealing all his savings.
Alright, I get it. So you're going to just label all of this evidence I have for you as made up, right?
Yes. That's what I'm going to say about it all until the day I die. There's no way I'm letting his own wife call him a liar like you've been.
then I'm going to start sending this recording to other members of the family.
What?
Not only are they all family of Jack's, but they also happen to be more judgmental of you when it comes to him.
Wait, hold on a moment. You don't have to do all of that. Stop it!
Why shouldn't I do all of this? If all of this evidence was faked by me, then they should all be smart enough to tell that about it as well, right?
I understand that, but I don't want any of them to get the wrong idea from it. And some of this could affect Jack's image, so please, stop trying to make such a big deal out of everything.
Nope, because my image has been badly damaged by the both of you for a long time now. So there's really no reason for me to stop now.
Hey, I will forgive you for everything I said about you before, so please stop. I do not want people going around saying and showing things that would make the rest of this family stop trusting him.
I'm not going to stop, Lilia. In the past, I asked you to stop making fun of me and treating my son like crap, yet you never once did you? I didn't really care that you were harassing me, but when you started to say things about Cameron, and then about my little brother, you really crossed the line. And when I realized that Jack was right there with you making fun of the three of us like that, I lost all the faith I ever had in the man. So forget about trying to stop me now.
I told you I'd apologize for all of that. And besides, if you start showing that kind of harmful evidence about my son, then it's only going to come back around to you, and more people are going to hate you for it, right?
First of all, none of this is a lie, so it's not like they will really have any reason to hate me anymore for it. Also, whichever way you try and look at all of this, most of the family already hates me to the core, so I can't be seen as any worse for this. I'm seen as the devil for having gone and used all my husband's savings like you've told them all to believe.
What do you want me to do that will get you to stop?
I'm really sorry, but there is nothing you can do to get me to stop. I am past that point of being convinced.
What?
Would you just stop talking about getting me to stop doing this already? I have already made up my mind and will make sure that the rest of the family hears this recording. It's already too late for you anyway, to be honest. I made sure to send them all this evidence before I even started talking with you, because I knew this would happen.
What have you done? Now everyone is going to view Jack as being a massive liar.
Well, he has been lying to everyone, so it can't be helped that he'll be labeled such a thing. Honestly, I think that name suits him pretty well, as calling me a liar even though I never once lied didn't really sit right with me.
You bitch! Alright then, so you're trying to get my whole family to view me as the enemy now. Even though I'm the head of the family, and am in charge of everyone in it. What do you think you're trying to pick a fight with the head of the family?
I don't care who you are.
What is your crazy behavior today? Well, so be it. I happen to have someone that can handle all of this for me. I'm not sure what's going to happen to you next, so I'd prepare yourself for the worst.
Are you threatening me now?
All I'm saying is, I don't know what'll happen to you next. So please, prepare yourself for the worst if that makes you feel the most comfortable.
Hey, you old bitch. What the hell are you trying to do? You really think you're doing the right thing by hiring some muscle to come out and attack my older sister like that?
Your older sister? So you must be Elena's little brother then. I saw what happened with my own eyes. You went in and tapped that man I hired and almost turned him into a pulp. That right there is a perfect crime that I'll have you sent to prison for. I made sure to take a video of everything of the matter.
Sure. Go ahead and give that to the police.
What?
You're telling me you took a video of two massive men coming up to my sister and grabbing her by the wrist, only to have me come in and kick both of their asses, right? I would love for you to upload that onto the internet if you could, please. I'd love to see what everyone has to say about it.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Anyway, I had a good talk with one of those men you had come out to try and assault my sister. They don't have anything to do with you, besides the money you paid them to come out here and kill my sister.
What?
Was it really that simple for you to get two men to try and kill her? Well, that's how you want to play these games. Then we'll see what happens to you.
I have a lot more people like those two. I'm serious. Just this time I had to hire some extra hands was all.
Is that right? You must have a lot of pride to be saying things like that about a crime you committed. Then send some of those men of yours out here to fight me, instead of two men you just paid to come here. I'll make sure to show them as well that I mean business.
Aha! So all you seem to think about is violence then. What do you two think you're doing acting all tough when you were nothing more than lowlives?
Nothing more than lowlives?
I'm right, aren't I? Compared to my family and I, you all are nothing more than a couple of moneyless lowlives. There was never a moment where I even thought that my son should be getting married to someone like your lowlife sister.
I suppose you shouldn't have, considering that all your son is a lying spoiled brat who has nothing to show for now. My sister is a woman who stepped in to raise me after the both of our parents died a long time ago. Your son and her are nothing alike.
What?
Seeing all of you filth looking down upon my sister like you guys are all that much better than her really begins to show just what kind of bugs are crawling around inside your heads. You think you're something because you're the head of your house? All that ever happened was you getting born into that family, woman. You're way too old now to be acting all tough just because your parents happen to be known as some very tough gang leaders. That makes you quite the lowlife yourself, doesn't it?
What the hell? How dare you talk to me in such a way, you rotten garbage?
Of course I'll talk with you like this. I mean, I'm having to talk to a smelly old bitch that thinks she's some kind of queen. Now, I'm going to leave the rest to my sister. And just know, however many more men you send after her, it's not going to make a difference. I'm going to protect her to my last breath.
Who the hell is that hoodlum you have working for you? Are you not embarrassed of a man like that as your little brother?
No, I'm not going to take that from some old bitch who thinks they can hire 2 hoodlums to come out and beat me to death. He is my little brother and I love him with all my heart.
What? That kind of violent man.
My parents both passed away when him and I were very young. And ever since then, I made sure to take their place raising him whichever way I could. But even though I was trying my best to be like a mother to him, there was still a lot of troubles we had. And at one point, he went through a period of being a bit reckless. And that's when he learned to fight.
He didn't just learn to fight like that while being a little reckless, though. He took down 2 men twice his size.
I'm sure he may not look the part under all his baggy clothing, but my brother has been training a lot recently in order to make sure I stay safe. He wasn't going to lose to a couple of steroid-using dumbasses.
Hey, do you think you can keep what all just happened a secret from the rest of the family?
What was that? Did I just hear some little bitch whining about not wanting to have all of this exposed?
You know what I want, right? About what just happened with those 2 men and your brother. There was a lot to take in. I may have taken things a bit too far there, and I apologize for it.
You're only apologizing now because I wasn't beaten to a pulp today by them, right? Well, that's not going to work on me. I'm going to make sure that everyone knows about what happened between you and us today.
Hold on a second. You do something like that to me, I won't even be able to stay in this town ever again.
I'm sure that's true. You'll be stuck dealing with the court system for a while after all.
What? The court system? What are you talking about right now, Elena?
You get what I'm saying, right? I'm going to be suing your ass for what you pulled. After all the insults you've given me before today, and then your attempt at murdering me, I'm going to make sure you pay for all of it.
Hold it right there. Now you're taking things way too far. This is all something that's taken place within the family, isn't it?
Within the family? I'm not a part of your family, though. I'm just a stranger to you, all right?
No, wait. About that. For the time being, please, do not sue me.
I'm going to. You really think I can forgive you for all the things you said about my son and my brother? From now on, you and that unemployed brat of yours are going to be on your own. Good luck.
Good luck? Why would you say something like that?
Thomas made sure to have a closer look into Jack for me. He happens to be addicted to gambling right now, and is in a whole lot of debt because of it. And on top of all that, he's been cheating on me with at least 3 different women now.
What?
Along with what I have on you, I'm also going to be taking him to court and getting a very large settlement from him. When that happens, Jack is going to be pretty much useless to you as well, right?
Jack Wyndon, are you telling me the truth right now?
I sure am. And all of that money he lied to you in order to borrow, he put into the casino as well as into his other women. And the funny thing is, all of that money you've been lending to him after he'd asked came from the allowances I'd give you at the start, right?
Yes, that's correct. And that's why so much of the money that was given to me vanished. That's why I had to start going into debt myself, having nothing to use to pay off my bills.
Really?
I don't work either. And with Jack always coming over asking me for money while crying, all my money slowly went away, and I was never able to get it back.
Is that right? Well, it's too bad for you then, isn't it?
Too bad for me? It's because you went and used up all of his savings that he had to come to me, looking for money that he could use to enjoy himself.
Wait, what? You're still thinking something like that to be true? Jesus Christ. I showed you the evidence, woman. The one that has been using all the money in this house has been your son.
I will not believe that. My son could never be that kind of monster.
Honestly, I don't give a damn if you believe me or not. Later on, you'll be seeing me again in court, and there the judge will help explain to you the truth. Also, pretty soon here, all of your family and friends will stop trusting in you and Jack as well. And then it'll be down to you two to figure things out.
They are all backstabbers, being a part of the same family yet doubting my son and I. I haven't lied about a single thing.
But Lilia, you said this all yourself, right? If the parent is a liar, that makes their kid one as well, right? Therefore, if the kid is a liar, wouldn't that also make their parent one as well?
You don't have to thank me for any of this. By the way, when it came to that old annoying bitch, she went on and on about being the head of that family, when in reality, she wasn't crap.
Thomas, thank you so much for helping me this time. Well, seeing that she won't be able to survive without the money I've been sending her, that makes sense. What head of the family are you anyway, kind of thing?
People with prides as massive as hers always end up destroying their lives in the end. By the way, Elena, things worked out perfectly, right? And partially because I came in and screwed up those two men, right?
Thank you for that. This was all a part of your plan, right?
Hey! You don't really have to call it a plan. I just made sure to place cameras all around your house and do a little bit of deep web research into your husband was all. You were the one that actually put all the evidence I pulled to work, right? And you acting like a boss about it was so cool.
And what are you going on about right now? Had it not been for you, then who knows what would have happened to me at the hands of those two killers that Lilia went and hired. I really am so thankful after what you've done for me. I'm alive and well today because of you.
I told you before, right? No matter what happens, I'll be there to protect you.
Both Lilia and Jack had to confront the family about everything they had learned about those two. And in the end, both of them were disowned and told to screw off. Of course, since the both of them loved to survive off their prides, they started going back and forth blaming one another for the outcome of having lied. They both were already in extreme debt, but later having to appear in court to pay me settlements without any way of fighting back, they really ended up going to debt hell. This left them with no way of paying for the house Jack's mom had been living in, and soon enough, they were evicted from it and left to the streets while trying to pay off the debt they were in. This also did not help Jack's addiction to gambling, nor his addiction to the women he was going out with behind my back either. And he continued to borrow money, only this time, it was from loan sharks instead of his mother and I. Due to the story about them both spreading throughout the town like wildfire, everyone around no longer trusted the two, and therefore, they could not find anyone who would be willing to spare a little money to help them through hard times. From what I've heard about Jack in recent times, he's been having to dodge the loan sharks who are after him after not having paid anything back to any one of them yet. I hear that they currently took Lilia hostage and have been hiding her somewhere where they can keep her as leverage for getting that money from Jack once they catch up to him. It also appears that Lilia never ended up paying those two men the full amount they had both asked for to go out and try to kill me. I'm sure that when they're both out of jail for what they've tried to do to me, they will be looking for her like the loan sharks are doing going after Jack. But that's only if they can find out where the loan sharks have hidden her, and only if she's still alive by the time the loan sharks have had their ways with her and Jack. Either things end up turning out in the end, it seems that both of their futures are sealed, and there will be no real light at the end of the tunnel for them. But we're both complete strangers to everyone really, so I'm pretty sure not a single one of us cares. After all the bad things that happened, there was one good thing that came out of all of it, and it was a deepened relationship with my brother. As both his sister and a parent of his, I am really proud of everything he had done to protect me this time. I understand that things had to get a little bit violent there between him and those two thugs, but at least he never ended up getting hurt, and that showed me just how much he'd grown. If he continues to protect me in the way he had done then, I think I'll be safe from anything this world has to attack me with, and that makes me very happy. As of right now, I've been living life as a single mother after I was able to get full custody of Cameron after the divorce from Jack. I already have a bunch of experience doing such a thing though, having raised my brother in the past as well from a pretty young age. So, even if this is a bit tough on me now, I know that I'll be alright, and that Cameron will be as well. I am going to work on pulling myself together even further, and raising a son who will never have the kind of behavioral issues his father and grandma have. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.